Assalamu alaikum. Today we will be presenting the second case study of why Al should expand or open their restaurant in Egypt, or whether they should or they should not. We will start with the fast food industry in Egypt. It was $7.68 billion. It's estimated at around that in 2023, and it's projected to grow at 15% yearly till 2032. And this will make the industry reach to about $36 billion at that time, when we reach 2032. And it's a growing fast industry in there. Why? Because basically driven by urbanization and young population. Driven by urbanization, basically a lot of people now are moving into cities like New Cairo and Cairo itself, or Alexandria, all of these things, and they have a young population and a lot of foreign investors or foreign people going there for, let's say, tourists or anything, and they go for the urbanization cities, and they basically going with their brands or their known brands such as Mac, all of these things. We have the key cities. We have the Cairo, which has the high population, and we have Giza, which has the pyramids, and basically pyramids has the most or more attractive than anything else in Egypt. And a lot of foreign people again are going there, or let's say for Middle Eastern people are going there. For the Cairo, a lot of population there who are basically wants a high quality meats, or let's say meals with low prices, because as we know, like the economical part there is not the best. So they want like something compete with the KFC or Mac with the same quality or more quality and less prices. So again, they have the high demands for affordable meals there. We have the competitors such as, let's say, if we want to talk about the foreign investors, Mac is the biggest around the world, I mean. And we have local brands such as Cook Dough, which they dominate. Basically, I mean, not all the sector, but I mean, they predominate all of the things right there. So when Al want to come to open their restaurant in Egypt, they have to provide something good, such as Al Halal Bake revenue. Why Al Halal Bake revenue is really good? Because it aligns with the Egyptian culture. Most of them are Muslims, and if we go to the Cairo and Giza, all of these things, they have Middle Eastern, they have Muslims all around the world. They visiting there, so they want halal menu with high quality again, with low prices. And if they could provide this like correctly, they would win. They would take advantage of. And Bake right now are expanding all over the world. I mean, in the Middle Eastern, and a lot of Egyptian people, like in Saudi Arabia, they like to go because they have affordable meals with a high quality. And in Egypt, it will be boosted by delivery apps such as Talabat. And again, when we went back to the COVID-19, we could see that this is a reality. A lot of people are staying at home and ordering their meals from their home, basically because they cannot go out. And right now, when we went to, like, let's say Cairo and El Giza or something, when they stay at home, they could order to like through Talabat with basically the same prices and faster. And you should not like go and find the traffic jams or anything in Egypt. You should just order it, and it will come as fast as possible. We have the main stakeholders of Al Baik. We have a basic Al Baik team, or basic Al Baik headquarter, and I think it's in Riyadh. It's responsible basically for building strategies and expansion investments, whether they should go to the, let's say, Egypt, or let's say to Indonesia or anything. So they are responsible for heading or managing all of the bake investments, whether it's in Saudi Arabia or outside Saudi Arabia. We have a local partners. Basically, like if we want to open it in Egypt, we could open it like if someone coming from Egypt to buy the franchise from El Bake, it's considered as a local partner. So they will open it, and just and he should always pay the fees that should pay it yearly, which round between 5 to 15%. It depends on the company itself. We have suppliers. Suppliers is one of the main stakeholders. Basically, who is providing the halal certified chicken, or who is providing the shrimp that Al-Bake sell it, or who is providing the fish that provide that again Al-Bake sell it. And we have spices. Again, all of these things coming out around the world, so we don't know which the one, but I mean it's around the globe. We have a packaging basically from Sabic or anything. They provide plastic, and they could again brand it as their own. And consumers, who is driving the revenue for the company, basically consumers like the one who is seeking halal food, and the one who is wants affordable meats, and again trusted brands. And now I just finished with my parts, and let's move on with Khalid part.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'm Khalid Shahri from Group 8. I'm going to talk about the interior challenges of Albake moving from Saudi Arabia to Egypt. Local partnership. Halawani Brothers is a Saudi company, but I'm going to talk about the Egyptian section from it. Halawani Bros company is a leading Egyptian food service company that plans to invest over 1 billion Egyptian pounds in Albake to open a restaurant in Egypt. This company is the way for Albake to move from Saudi to Egypt. Manufacturing agreements. Equant Food Industry signed a preliminary agreement with Halawani Bros. Equant is Albake sister company, which has the knowledge and technical rights to manufacture Albake products from packaging and other cases for sauces and for fried chicken. The biggest challenge is the supply chain management, since there isn't a direct land route. So ensuring high quality ingredients from spices and other things like chicken is very challenging. Brand recognition, building awareness and customer loyalty in a new market is very hard, since there isn't any Albake restaurant in Africa, and it will be very hard to establish a new loyal customers there. And to attract customers that did not eat Albake before in Saudi Arabia. Market competition, competing with the established brands in Egypt is very hard, from local restaurants and even international restaurants like KFC. غير slide. Expansion benefits. Access to a large market, over 1 million people in Egypt, offering a vast customer base, which will obviously make Albake gain a lot of profit. Increased brand recognition, expanding beyond the Middle East to strengthen a regional presence. Since there isn't any Albake restaurant outside the Middle East, this one will be the first to open in another continent. Revenue growth and profitability, diversifying revenue streams with strong sales potential and growing fast food sectors. So Albake will have restaurants in another continent. So if there is any problem happen in the Middle East, African Albake will not be affected. ما في مشكلة. Stronger supply chain control with local partnership and production. Albake can have better control of its supply chain, which can make Albake can have easier expansion in other nearby African countries like Sudan. So it will be even easier to open new franchises, and it will be even easier to open another franchise in Egypt. Increased market visibility, expansion to a high-profile market like Egypt boosts Albake global visibility, and it will attract attention from international investors and the media, which can have great benefits, not even in African Albake, but even the Middle Eastern one that we have in Saudi Arabia. And I finished my part, and now Hamza will talk.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hamza, and I'm going to continue the last part of our presentation. I'm going to talk about the best analysis. And first, let's say Albake wanted to open in Egypt. They should consider this analysis, which is the best will give you the position of the economy in that specific country. In our case is Egypt. First of all, we're going to talk about the political side. They have strong central government, and they have security issues and improving stability. Their economy is not growing much, but because they have a high inflation and youth unemployment. Socially, they have a large young population, but the poverty and the income rate is not the best. Technologically, Egypt is technologically improving and developing, but it is still behind the Gulf, which Albake is coming from. Environmental, Egypt is in Africa, and the environment is pretty close to the Middle East. The pollution, the climate change is the same impact. Legally, Egypt they have complex business regulation on businesses from outside the country, and they have media control, so you can't be more flexible with your ads and stuff, and variable law enforcement. Next slide. Okay, the business environment, which is pretty close to the best analysis, but let's give you a closer look. Okay, the language and the social communism is pretty much close to the Gulf or the Saudi because it's the same language, it's pretty much the same traditions and stuff. The time and the sociability is a little bit different because when you employ people, Egyptian people have another traditions like wasta, dependence, and business is relationship driven. Meeting can start late. There is a lot of traditions there. Intertextual communication. Egyptians avoid direct no answers, non-variable cues, and respect are crucial. Islamic tradition influence business practices. Economic development, they have a growing economy with strong sectors, and they depend on tourism and construction, and they attract investors, but not a lot because they have a lot of regulation. But in the end, Egypt is a really good step for Al Baik to open because of the popularity they have in the country, and it's really recommended for them to open there. Thank you.
In conclusion, due to many circumstances that destabilize the region, we have the war, we have wars, we have the currency fluctuations, and it's not stable yet. And the dollars is going up against the Egyptian pound, and then a lot of investors will lose money. But again, Egypt market is really big, and even though a lot of investors are going out, there are a lot of investors going in due to many circumstances. Basically, the low cost of barriers and all of these things. Regarding the regulation, are now improving day by day because Egyptian government wants to attract investments to support their people. That's first, and to support their infrastructures, and again to attract money. So that's the only two things that Egypt could afford or could offer to the people that wants to invest. They should give me the low barrier of to go inside the Egyptian market, and in addition to they could control the stability of their currency so that the investors won't really like fear of getting into the market itself. And again, there are a lot of circumstances that are outside their government, the government of Egypt, and that's we know a lot. That's basically wars and all of these things. It's outside control. So when it stops, a lot of things will restart to be at the same position, and Egypt will come back again with the strong investment from outside, and basically from Gulf countries they will invest in to support their economy. So that's it, and thank you.